Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? It's your boy Slushy coming back with another YouTube video. Now, last week I kind of talked to you guys about the perfected Succession Sorceress PvE guide. Now, in that guide, I broke down basically everything that I know about Sorc and gave you my PvE combo. Since then, there is a homie in the guild named Super Loser, and he actually holds the record for the fastest C10 Pig King in for Sorc, and it's like sub 2 minutes. I think mine is like just under 3 or something like that, and he's doing it in under 2 minutes, which is unbelievable. And I asked him, I'm like, bro, how are you doing it so fast? Like, how are you able to just like shave a whole minute off or whatever? What he did was he ran a simulation on his PC that took a bunch of different Sorc combos and actually ranked them by how much damage they were doing. And so if you'd like to see that, inside of my Discord, if you come to my Discord, which I will leave a link in the description down below, there is a forum post that I created. Now within this forum post, I'm still finishing it up and adding in my combo and everything, but this file right here, if you expand this goes through and shows you the sequences of these simulations that were ran for these different combos. And as you can notice, these combos do a ton of damage, but most of them start the same way. And that is basically what I adopted into my combo of how to basically get my damage out the best, most efficient way possible while in PvE. And this simulation test was allowed me to not only figure that out, but to optimize it so efficiently that I basically have everything up on cooldown whenever it's off cooldown. And I'm also able to grind a lot faster. I make way more trash now. I got a lot better times on like my C10 bosses. So with that being said, we're going to actually talk about this and look into how this works. Also, for those of you watching this video, quick reminder, today's Saturday at 6:30 p.m. EST, Arise, my guild, which is Corrupt and Epidemic, we're having an AOS tournament, so tune in to watch me in that tournament. And then we also have Siege later tonight, so if you want to see some Sorc PvP, definitely tune into the stream, twitch.tv/purpaleslushy. Before we do that though, there is one thing that I want to show you that I figured out on Sorc that I didn't even know. And I'm going to be coming out with a video that basically just shows like tips and tricks for Sorc, but this is something that I want to show you before this combo. Sorc has Red Orb. So Witch used to have a skill where you could set an orb on the ground and all the mobs would go to it and attack it, and they wouldn't attack you until like you attack them. We were now given that. So if I set this Sinister Omen back here and then I hit this totem and all the mobs spawn, you will notice that all the mobs will go to the red orb and they won't even focus me. So I'm going to set this orb down. Now look, the orb's back there, but watch. All the mobs are attacking that orb. They don't even care about me. They literally don't care about me. So this is really good at a spot where like you might want to have the mobs group up in a certain place, or like you need to give yourself a break for a couple seconds and just like stretch your hands out, or whatever you need to do before the mobs spawn. As long as you set down Sinister Omen, the mobs are going to go and they're going to attack that little orb, and they're just going to go ham on it. So definitely use that at certain places. Like for here at Tenebrom, I don't use it off rip because I want the mobs to come out to me over here, because the way that the combo works that I'm going to be teaching you guys starts out with Violation, and you want to get behind the enemy's back. So the combo that I do is Violation into Bloody into Dream. That's always first. So Violation into Bloody into Dream. Now the reason why you do that first is because that's going to allow you to not only put out the most amount of damage possible, but you might be wondering, you're like, Slushy, you're not doing Midnight Singer to get your crit rate buff up. Well, you're right. And that's because Bloody Calamity has 100% crit rate built into it. Dream of Doom has a 50% crit rate built into it. So you don't need to pre-buff yourself before you do those two skills. So your Violation is DP debuffing all the mobs. Bloody Calamity is one of your hardest hitting damaging skills, so you're getting that off and you're hitting the mobs with it. And then so is Dream of Doom is one of your hardest hitting damage skills off. Both of them have crit rate buff. So then after that, then you can do your crit rate buff into your Midnight Stinger. Then you can do your Midnight Singer, which is your crit rate buff, into the ultimate Shadow Eruption that I showed in the last video. So I'm going to do that after the Dream here. So Violation, Bloody, Dream. Now I need to get myself back in there. So Midnight Stinger, cancel that into the Ultimate Shadow Eruption. Canceling Midnight Stinger into Ultimate Shadow Eruption is basically just Midnight Stinger into Claws of Darkness, which is W left mouse button. But if you do that and your Ultimate Shadow Eruption is off cooldown, it will cancel into your Ultimate Shadow Eruption. Then after that, the combo is basically like the same combo that we've always done. So it's going to be the Shadow Eruption into Darkness Released, into Shadow Engulfing Shadow, which is Shift Z, into Shadow Ignition, which is Shift X, and then Crow Flare, Beat Kick, Turn Back / Abyssal Flame. So Crow Flare, Beat Kick, Turn Back / Abyssal Flame. Then after that, it's going to be that Black Wave, Dark Tendrils, and then after you do that, you're going to do Violation into Double Dark Flame. And then after you do Violation into Double Dark Flame, that's the end of the combo. Then you end that with your Revamp skill, so Shadow Hellfire. And then you can restart your combo into like the Midnight Stinger, Ultimate Shadow Eruption, all that good stuff. But whenever you do one full rotation of your combo, just know that Bloody Calamity is not going to be off cooldown, and it's not going to be ready to go once you do your full rotation. So whenever you end your full combo rotation after doing that Revamp skill and you come back in and you restart with your Midnight Stinger Ultimate Shadow Eruption, you're going to do your Shadow Eruption, Darkness Released, Engulfing, Shadow Ignition, Crow Flare, Beat Kick, Turn Back / Abyssal Flame, and then you can go in with your Violation, Bloody Dream. So I will do that full combo on these mobs right here. I will let them group up. Now I'm just going to let them hit me for a second because I need to get everything off cooldown so I can show you how this combo works. But okay, all together it's going to look like this. This is the end of the combo right here. And then Revamp skill, Midnight Stinger into Ultimate Shadow Eruption, and then you do like that little, like all those filler skills in a row into Black Wave, Tendrils, and then you can go back in with your Violation, Bloody Calamity, DOD, everything that you need to do there. So again, that combo all together now with, and I'll break it down really slowly. It's going to be Violation, Bloody Calamity. You're going to violate through them, turn around, Bloody Calamity, Dream of Doom. Midnight Stinger to get back in, but you're going to cancel that with Claws, and it will cancel into Ultimate Shadow Eruption. Then, Shift F for Shadow Eruption. So Shadow Eruption. WF for Darkness Released. So Shadow Eruption, Darkness Released. Shift Z for Engulfing Shadow. Shift X for Shadow Ignition. Crow Flare, Beat Kick, so E and then right mouse button while you're in the air to kick. So E, right mouse button, turn back / as you're landing to cancel turn back / Abyssal Flame, Black Wave, Tendrils. Your Violation should be off cooldown now, so you're going to violate into Double Dark Flame, into your Bomb skill, and then you can Midnight Stinger, and your Shadow Eruption should be off cooldown. This combo takes about 10 seconds. Well, technically it takes 9, but it should be off cooldown. If it's not off cooldown for whatever reason after you do your Midnight Stinger, just wait a second and just do the full 3 hits of your Claws. But with that being said, after you do that full rotation, you'll notice that Bloody isn't off cooldown. So this is what's going to happen when Bloody isn't off cooldown. When Bloody's not off cooldown and you're back and you're at the beginning of the rotation, you've already used Violation, because at the end of the combo, remember, you do Violate, Double Dark Flame into the Revamp skill, Midnight Stinger, and then you're restarting your combo. So from here, and if your Bloody's still on cooldown, it's going to be like the old rotation that I showed you in the last video. Shadow Eruption, Darkness Released, Engulfing, Shadow Ignition, Crow Flare, Beat Kick, Turn Back / Abyssal Flame, Black Wave into Tendrils, and then you can Violate, Bloody Calamity, Dream, or whatever you need to do. So with all that together, it's going to look something like this. So we'll give it everything a second here to come off cooldown. I know my loot scroll's going on. It's okay. I have like over 1,000. It's all good. Don't worry about it. Nobody panic. All right. So all together, it's going to look like this. This is the end of the combo. Now we're waiting for Bloody to come off cooldown, so we're going to do these skills. Violation, Bloody, Dream, and then you can go right into double Dark Flame, Revamp skill, Midnight Singer, Alternate Shadow Eruption, and then boom, you're restarting your combo. Yeah, and just like that. So like an actual rotation on these mobs is going to look something like this. I'll just do this one pinion for you guys. Now, when you're actually doing this, like in the actual rotation, shit's not going to be off cooldown when you need it to be off cooldown. So you kind of got to like make do with what you have, if that makes sense. See, like I'm just right there. I started with Violation and then double Dark Flame because I had so many skills on cooldown. So sometimes you're going to have to wait, and the combo won't be perfect, especially because you're going to be killing these mobs like at different times and stuff. So you kind of got to pay attention. Like, okay, I have Dream off cooldown now, so I'm going to use that. But you want to make sure that your Dream's always going off when it's off cooldown. You want to make sure that your Bloody's always going off when it's off cooldown. But if you keep that in mind while you're doing your combo, you should be good to go. As far as skill add-ons go, this is what I'm rocking for my skill add-ons. But yeah, I hope that this was able to like open up your eyes into how Sorc can be played the most efficiently way possible in PvE. That simulated guide in my Discord will definitely give you a feel and kind of like an understanding of what skills to do to get the maximum efficiency while you're in PvE. Remember that you're always starting with Violation for that DPD buff, and to Bloody because it's one of our hardest hitting skills and it has an innate crit rate buff in it. Same thing with Dream, one of our hardest hitting skills, innate crit rate buff in it. And then you do your crit rate buff, and then you pretty much go through all of like your combo that I've taught you like in this video and then also the last video. I hope that was able to give you guys a little bit of insight. Until next time, it's been your boy, S to the L to the U to the S to the H to the I slushy. The fuck was that outro? Till next time, peace!